Well, hello. Oh boy, who is JS here? Should I know you, JS? I'm going to wait a little bit till people start coming. And this should be a great show. And really, I want everybody to take it to know this is my story. And I can't even get this water bottle open. This is my story. And JS, I hope you're here to be. I think I may know who you are. So JS, are you on here right now? Ew. Mm. So anyway, oh, one whole minute, and I'm gonna see how this goes today. Just waiting around and chit chatting with myself. Chit chatting with myself. I wonder, should I tell my group again? They might have forgot about me. Oh, hey, Jamia. JS, who are you? I think I know who you are. I'm just not sure, but if you just tell me how I know you, then I'll know that it's you. Because I kind of know the initials, but if you don't put it down, then you're not who I think you are. So, yeah, Jamie, I told you ever since I changed my this always happens now, which is fine. I'll sit up here and talk to myself. Hey, Tasha. Oh, I miss Tasha. I guess Shane said something about on Saturday he was gonna come back. Okay, don't slow mo it. Okay, I'll go and change it. I'll be back. Customize, edit, video, customization, and take it off. Save. Okay. Customization. Okay, I took it off. Hey, Bud Files. Hey, Annabelle. I'm so glad all of you stopped by. Yeah, I took it off. It should be off now. I just took it off. Is it still showing, Jamie? I took it off. The reason I had, is it off, Jamie? Is it showing us off? I just changed it. Okay. The reason I put it on here, because I know that sometimes this conversation, even though it's my life, sometimes people take it on as their life. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the video is like 15 minutes, but I'm not gonna run it straight through. And you can still chit chat on the side, because sometimes I'll stop it. Because this is really my old videos. I don't even remember what I had on there. And I was like, I looked at myself and I looked at the lighting. I said, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe it. But yeah, it's just the only thing when you do come up with that subject, then people are like, I'm gonna show her that she's not gonna get to tell a story. But and it's history. It really is. It's something I lived through in the 60s. And I just think it's always something good to share. I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes, then I'm gonna start. But it's always good. Like I say, for my grandbabies, even if some of you haven't, write down something or tell somebody what went on in your life. Because once that person passed, all that history is gone. Okay, I thought that was you, Jacinta. Excuse me, I was getting worried, girly girl. This is one of my clients, JS. I thought it was when I knew that. Hey, Samira, how you doing? That pretty name. Jacinta's name is pretty too. But I'm gonna start about 5 minutes. But what I told them that I'm gonna, pull up the video and play it. It's like 15 minutes, but I'm gonna start and I'm gonna stop it. I don't know how true it is, but someone said that Shane told him he might not have power. Oh my God. I don't trust what. I guess we could always pull it up on Google or something to find out. Because whatever area it was, and if he got that hurricane, it may be. It might be. He better go to McDonald's. I'm always making a joke out of something. Oh, God, that would be awful. Jamie, you just was 2 days. Can you imagine being 3 months? Hey, Steve, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to wait like, how many minutes is it now? About 4 minutes and start. And like I said, it's about my life. I think even pieces I've forgotten. Like my mom, I didn't ask her enough questions. I did not ask her. I think I asked my grandma more questions than I did my mom. But I didn't ask enough. My mom was a majorette. Her sister was a majorette. She won a medal. Yep. If I never asked, I never would have known. Okay, Tosh. And but yeah, I'm gonna start about 4:25, and whoever comes in at that time, and I can't wait. Yeah, it's a story. When I first did it, I listened to a little bit of this one because I did one before this that's not in the pile. It's still there. And my sister said I soft pedaled through it. She said I didn't tell the truth. Not tell the truth, but I had soft pedal. So I redid it, because I was just starting on YouTube. So you don't know how strong to get. You know what I mean? So I went back and I redid it. And then I did it's 4 in the series. So I'm going to do one a week. And I'm so grateful all of you are here. I really am. I really am. I don't know why I'm nervous about it. Maybe I want to remember, huh? I probably don't want to remember what it was like. I really. And the reason I came up with this is because I was looking at have Cheetah will view. He had interviewed me, and I was looking at that and I said, you know what, that would be a good series to pull up to share with everybody about my life, because I want this to stay on the history books for sure for my grandbabies. So, and then I need to I've been saying that one of my grandkids have a scrapbook that took me a whole year. But they don't know how important it is until they get older, is what it is. So we got 1 more minute and we're going to get this started. And don't talk about me. This was when I first started, about a month after. The lighting was awful. Everything was awful. Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat you. Oh, my God. Jalika Jaha Peace. Oh, my God. My baby is here, y'all. I love you to death. You have stuck with me. Oh my goodness, from the beginning. From the beginning. But okay, what I'm going to do, I'm explaining it one more again, and then I'm going to get started, is I'm going to play the video. Then at certain parts, I may stop it. I'm going to try not to make this more than an hour, because normally I keep it an hour, but it may go over a little bit. But and then you can ask questions even after it's over. You can ask me questions. And what I say is, Let's get started. Yes, all is well. It is. All is well. I need to get out there and exercise, though. I need to exercise. Look at my babies. Okay, let's get started. Because if I don't get started, um, okay, let's get this started. Welcome back. I am Betty J. Gathers, daughter of Jean Gray. The video you're looking at is part one of part four, but I just wanted to come back and say, as you go through this video, that I redid it, but I still want you to look at this one because I soft pedaled through it. I want to say the segregation part, as my sister reminded me that I really needed to just take my time and tell what really happened during segregation. So please watch this and just know 2, 3, and 4, and especially 4 is going to be phenomenal. So please stay with the series. And again, stay because the video is coming right off after this when I take this small little part. Okay, but please watch all 4. Thank you. Hey, cousins, welcome back. She's back. I told you I was coming back. I told you. And the ones that have not yet subscribed and don't know me, I am Betty J. Gathers. Subscribe, like, and share. And make sure you turn on those notifications so you'll know when I'm on here all the time. Oh, but today I want to talk about something really interesting. I've been wanting to do this for a little while, and I'm not going to make it long. I'm going to limit it, but I want to talk about, and this is especially true for my grandchildren and my children, that and people that really don't know me about me growing up in the '60s. This might end up being a two-parter, but I want to keep it limited. I might talk about it some more. And I'm hoping my dog don't lose his ball because then he's going to act like an idiot till I go get it. So anyway, I want to talk about the 60s. I was born in the mid-50s in West Palm Beach in a 2-story house, I think 701 Tamarind Avenue on a corner. 2-story in West Palm Beach, Florida. There was a barbecue business, I remember, maybe a bar on the other side. And also, there was just a lot of activity going around. And I also remember, too, as I'm remembering that there were a lot of Black-owned businesses. I do remember that because, it was segregation time also. By the time I was 4 or 5, because we lived with my grandma, and we used to call her mom, and we used to call my mama by her first name, Jean. And we moved when I was 4 or 5 to a new house that she got. We were one of the fortunate ones. I can't say, she owned her house outright. And really that was from a lawsuit that her husband, he died on an electric line. And they called him Jay. And we moved into that house out from my grandparents, and I can remember still calling my mom Jean. And her first, her best friend she finally got us to start calling her mama. I forgot about that a little bit. Another thing too, we didn't call our aunts and uncles. We called them by their first name. I can remember maybe somebody else in my family did, but I can't remember that. But what I can remember, I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. I know by 1960, I started the school. And it was walking distance, okay? And I can remember that walking and going back. I also did kindergarten, which was rare. And the reason my mom sent me to kindergarten, she had to pay for it, was because my sister didn't go. And it was hard for her first years of school, going to school. So she really didn't want me to go every day crying. So when it was time for me, I was ready, okay? And we did a lot of reading. I read very early. I don't know if I was comprehending, but I know I was reading. I always loved to read anyway. And we also went to the library a lot. I lived in the public library. And elementary was pretty good, probably until about third or fourth grade when some personal problems started. But it wasn't like anything heavy that started. Well, too heavy, but I can remember some little problems started. And then after that, I went, well, let me back up. Boop, boop, boop. No, maybe I'll go to there. Let me go. Then we went to junior high. Um, After that, and that started in seventh grade. Seventh to ninth, you went to junior high, which now is middle school. But I can remember at the end of the day, running home to the 3 channel black and white TV to see Superman. I can remember that, running home to see Superman. Also, I would every day go outside and play with my friends. We would play. Woo! I'm not going to even say till the lights came on because I know we were well in before the dark. I hear a lot of people saying about till the dark came on. But once we went in every night, my mom made dinner. It was a meat, it was a rice, it was a veggie, black eyed peas. This was my favorite dinner. Fried chicken, black eyed peas, and white rice, and cornbread on the side. So that was basically, we got those heavy meals at night, and then usually on the weekend we would have like that. It wasn't bread pudding, it was the bananas with the vanilla pudding. I can't think of the name of it right now, but everybody had that. Banana pudding? I would guess so. It was something called like that. But I can remember having that. And we walked a lot too. We walked a lot. That's why we probably stayed thin. We walked a lot. There were very few people that I can remember being overweight, maybe about one or two that I truly took. Probably, I was 18, but, because we didn't eat any fast foods. And the reason I say that because with the black-owned businesses that we went to, we did have like chili hot dogs, barbecue. We had all that other stuff, but still it was basically home cooked. Even though it was in the restaurant, it was in the kitchen. And even our high school, we had, you will not believe this, we had liver and onions. You give that to kids now. We had liver and onions. We had mashed potatoes and some kind of vegetable dessert. Okay? That's why I say us baby boomers and the older people, that's why we're basically healthy. We ate good. We ate a lot of junk. The first fast food that I ate was Kentucky Fried Chicken. I remember that. Kentucky Fried Chicken was the first fast food that I ate. No McDonald's, no Burger King, none of that, because we couldn't go, to those places. But, when you're younger, I try to think about that back in those days. But I can even remember looking on the TV, which we only had 3 channels, black and white. And I can remember the dogs attacking African Americans or black people, what they were called then, or Negroes. But in a child's mind, you're still not understanding what's going on the TV. So as a child, it really doesn't affect you because you're born into it, you're raised into it. Even when I started riding like the bus to work out on Palm Beach, by that time we could sit on the front of the bus. I graduated in '73, and we got what I want to say. We got integrated high school wise in Florida and all over. Was about 10th grade because the government said if they didn't do it, they was going to hold money back because it was supposed to be done in the 60s. So about 10th grade we're the first, and I think we're the people that a lot of people need to talk to really get a good history at that time, because you still got the voices and the mouths to tell about that part of the history. It was hard that first year. The kids, it wasn't the kids. Honestly, it wasn't the kids. It was the parents and it was the teachers. Um, and I don't know what happened to the African American teachers. I'm not going to take this off onto where you think I better take it off too. But I never thought about it. What happened to them? Because we all ended up with Caucasian teachers. So I don't know. But at that time, that first year was really hard. But after that, graduation time, it kind of all blended in. Still, I want to say we were separate at school. Okay, even though we were integrated classes, we went to lunch, it was separated. We sat in the gym for pep rally, black on one side, white on the other. So that's just the way it was until I graduated anyway. Um so I would say after graduation, I would. Okay, I kind of want to stop it there. We still got about 5 minutes left, but I want to say I glided over about when school started in 10th grade. It was not easy. I just want y'all to know it was not easy. There was a lot of fighting. There was my mom had to come pick me up at school. The parents was out there. And like I say, the kids wasn't as bad as you would think, but we were still separate. And you would think they would be really, really awful if their parents were. But we were still separate. Okay, but it was very, very hard for the ones of us in that 10th grade. And I want you to know the teachers were awful. Not all, but the majority of them was. Okay, so, and the next year, a lot of those teachers weren't there. And then you have to remember too is that they didn't want it. They didn't want it. And and then we're all forced, we're bused to, to somewhere we don't even know. We don't even have any teachers that we know. All our old teachers are gone. All our good pep rallies gone. So we were like in the land of the lost, is what I would call it. Okay. But there was some comfort there somewhere because everyone was not the same. Okay. But it was hard. It was hard. Another thing too was black owned businesses. People said because we couldn't go to McDonald's or Burger King. The only way you could go to McDonald's or Burger King, African American, well, Negro, you would have to go to the back door. So, of course, they knew we were going to refuse to go to the back door. However, people never talk about the good part. We owned our businesses. Negroes own all their businesses. We didn't have to go anywhere else. We had corner stores. We had barbecue places. What was it? We had barbecue places. We had restaurants. So really, we didn't miss out on as much as people think we missed out on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue, and then, like I said, I think it's like 5 minutes left, and then we can chit chat about it a little more. But let me go ahead and start it back. Say everything wasn't bad because most people went to college. The majority of kids went to college at that time. Even if they had a baby, they went to college. That was just high on the list. Graduation was high on the list. I went to vocational school while I was in high school. You went to high school half a day, then you go vocational school. And I took sewing in vocational school, which really helped my skills because I sewed for a long time. Sewed for a long time. Now nobody does it. They don't even. Okay, I'm back. This is one part I really want people to know. Before we integrated, we had at least 100% rate of graduation. Once we got integrated, it dropped. I think that's so important to know. So was it worth new books, new school. We learned, we went to college, even if a girl had a baby. Okay. In the African American community, very few babies was given away unless it was given to another family member. And but they it was college bound. Okay. And I just wanted to throw that in because I didn't want anybody to forget that. So my question is, and I'm not answering, you have to answer to yourself, was segregation good for Negroes? It's just a question out there because we had 100% graduation rate. Okay, so let me get back to the the video. Know how to stitch anything hardly, even if the hem comes out. So even that skill's being lost. This, but also I could have become an LPN. I remember I could have took the class, but my parents ended up moving when I was about 18. And a lot of people think too, and I'm gonna back up, that it was a horse and carriage days. And it really wasn't. We had cars, we had buses, we had trains for sure, but it seem like a lifetime ago. I can remember thinking, and I'll never forget that when we got into year 2000, and I think I said this on another video, that we were going to be driving cars in the sky like the Jetsons were doing. I mean, we got cars that self-driving themselves, so we're pretty close. But it's amazing when I think as a child how far off it was. But all I really want to say is, like I said, I'm not going to make this too long, that the only difference to me is right at this point, it's not much of a difference. I would have thought that the racial divide would have changed more. But we're a work in progress. We are a work in progress. I can say that. And we're just going to continue to try to, be the best that we can be. But I just wanted you to know the 60s was not as archaic as some think it was. People were intelligent, people were going to college, people were getting married. I say the only thing that has intensified everything is the internet, because we know everything, everybody business, everything per se. And I can even say with schooling, my schooling was excellent. Excellent. That's all I can say. I don't know what the school system is now, but I can say the public school at that time, it was phenomenal when I think back, because I will always remember, and I think I did this in another video about Miss Ruhala, and she was this little short teacher at Suncoast High, and she really brought out my skills in writing and reading and book reports. You just think back. But I just wanted to share a little bit. I told you I wasn't going to make this too long. I'm living in the 60s. Was it as fun as some people think? Yeah, it was. It was fun. People just were different. They always say life was a little bit more simpler. And it was. It was a little bit more simple. But again, I want to say, and I'm not making this video too long, that I am Betty J. Gathers, daughter of Jean Gray. I like saying that, my mom's name, and then my grandma name, so. Okay. Now, that's the soft pedal one. You're going to learn as this series go on. Do anybody have any questions as this series go on that I'm going to be talking about, a lot more, and not about hate, really, not just about my life story. Okay. Even like my grandma, my great grandma, and most of them name was Mary. My Great grandmama on my maternal side is Mary, and then on my father's side, my grandma is Mary. So we had a lot of that. Kindergarten was all day, not half a day. Yeah, well, we didn't have kindergarten. I started at school when I was 4 years old. I turned 5 in December. So that was so long as you turn 5 by the end of the year, um, you could go to school. So I start and I could read. I don't know where it come from. I tell everybody, I was amazed. Just some children pick it up and I understand. Yeah, but yeah, it's the 60s. It's just, and everybody asks, the main question people ask me about the racial divide, and it never went away. People think that when Trump came in, he emboldened people, but it was already there. Okay, so to me, it might have magnified it, but it was still there. They were waiting at the doors to come out. And yeah, it's it was a difference, like I said. But the only thing black owned businesses did, and maybe they could own the business, a lot of them didn't own it. So when they died, their children couldn't take over the store. So a lot of them didn't know the business side of it, to have your own. My grandfather ran a fish shop right next to his house where I was born at. And in fact, he had two fish shops. What caused the drop, Jacinta, was I would say more of the males because of the fighting. They didn't expect the fighting. They That was a surprise. They did not expect them to stand up. They stood up, and that's where it started. Honestly, that's where it started, because they were so used to I guess us being docile in ways. And so when they started, even the teachers, then they stood up. And I even told Crafty Leo today a little bit, was this girl named, I never forget her name, Marvella Shelton. She looked like she was white. And that's what's really, back in those days, we had a lot of people that was mixed, but they could pass. And she used to keep her hair straightened all the time. And when all the fighting took, she went in, she washed her hair, and she herb and towel dried it so it would kink up, so they would know she was black, so they wouldn't hit her. So it was chaotic at that time. I would say by the time I graduated 2 years later, it was a lot better. It was a lot better. Anybody? That was a good question, though, the graduation rate. Yeah. And then our families really connected with the teachers. And that's why too, they could come to your mom's home. There was a connection. If they didn't know them at the school, then they know them in the churches. Okay. So we were all, connected together. And that's why that rate was so. If you stay back a year, you would be totally embarrassed. You didn't tell people you didn't make your grade. Now it's like a badge of honor, is what it is. But what I'm going to do is a series every week until I get to the finale. I just wanted, like I say, I had went on Patrick's and I looked at the video that we did, and I really enjoyed it. And what happened on Patrick's was, when we started talking about it, he had a drop. People just instantly dropped off. And I told him today that even if it's me and him, this gonna go on today. Yes, honestly, it was a very tight knit community. Everybody kind of took care of each other's children. But we knew they were neighbors. We knew our neighbors. Now, I don't know if my mama didn't get along with them. I don't know. Okay, but us kids all got together. So yeah, we did play outside a lot. We played outside a lot. You didn't want to stay in the house because you know you was gonna have to do something. But like I said, dinner every night, everybody's sitting at the table. We did have that. So, and I guess that's why I kind of kept, but there were divorces. There was everything there is now. It's just been intensified. It's just been really intensified. No. And that's another thing too. People ask me because I could remember I had to be 6 or 7, something like. I remember seeing it on the TV, but I didn't really know. And that's why I always say, think from a child's mind. Sometimes I didn't really. All I seen these dogs, tearing up these people. And no, we never. By the time I would say even middle high school, it wasn't. It was out there, but no, I never did. So, and I was raised up in Palm Beach, and that it was the South. Now, don't get me wrong. My mom was a maid. I can't remember that movie. Oh God, it everybody loved it with the maids in it. I can't remember the name. I know somebody, but I went to see that with some of my white counterparts. What was the name of that movie where all the maids? They even wrote a book on it. Um, I can't remember. I know y'all remember. Oh, it was a movie. But anyway, when I looked at that movie, there's just no way that could have happened. No way. Yeah, the help. Because I'm going to tell y'all something about old Negroes. They had to lie. They had to lie because it would mean your life. You would never get anything out of them ever because it meant our lives. So, you just never, they took it to their grave. But the help when they let the white girl into, that wouldn't have happened. I tell you now that because they know it would have meant their lives. Now the cake might have happened because they did do that. When you think about you hate somebody and they're cooking for you, I never understood that. If you don't, and maybe that's where in our African American community we don't eat at people's houses we don't like, and maybe that's where it came from. But that was their only way of fighting back. So, I read, you know what, Martin, I read the book too, but then I seen the movie. And I know, and the movie just took something away with me because I know my mom was the maid. We used to eat at her house, Miss Peace, and I used to sit in the room in her son's room, David, and read his books because he had books in his room, and of course, I didn't have books home unless I went to the library. And she shared her food, but we never ate with her. And the only time I seen Miss Peace come to the house, she bought clothes for my mom to iron. Okay. And then in some of the other videos, I'm going to talk about the only white person we saw, and that was an insurance man. That's it. The insurance man and with those policies. That's all I can remember. Milkman once in a while, but not all the time. So I just hope that I really, brought some attention to something of that. But how's everybody doing today? Because I knew that wasn't going to take up the whole time um with that. And we had barbecue places all over the place now. You wouldn't have went hungry, that's for sure. We had the barbecue place, we had the liquor stores right near my grandma, and like I say, he had a big old fish market, so that made it, where we always had food. And then like I said, my mom, she looked up her house, she got free and clear because her husband he died on the electric post, because what they did, Negroes used to put the lines up because that was the most dangerous job. And where did you send a list of questions at, Jacinta? Because you could have asked on here. But they had the dangerous job. And my mom and him was not together. They were really getting a divorce, but the divorce had not been finalized. So see, they were doing the same thing. They weren't. And honestly, I think a lot of them had more partners too. They talk about us, but I don't know. Hey, Trish. Well, you can ask here. It doesn't matter. Hey, Tammy. Whatever you want to ask, Jacinta, I don't mind asking, answering right out. And like I said also on there, that I can remember thinking about the year 2000. I can remember that vividly. And I thought, because we used to watch the Jetsons all the time, and I thought the cars was going to be flying by now. So our minds were thinking about the future at that time, just didn't know what we were going. We had a lot of last days preaching and teaching at different times where the world was going to end. We had a lot of that. A lot of people was a lot more religious. They were a lot more religious than now, and I'm sure they was doing their dirt just like they was doing that dirt. And we used to, like I say in the video, we used to walk a lot. Children, we used to walk everywhere. And like I say, I was fortunate. Did you feel eating bad? We didn't. We didn't, Jacinta. We didn't. We didn't think it was an option. You say, do you prefer to eat in black restaurants, or did you not care? Oh, I cared. I cared. We didn't. We didn't do it. We ate at the black restaurants. That's the only one we did, So we didn't have to feel, bad about that. Oh, and the phones, we didn't have private lines either. Anybody out there old enough to remember that? Yes, I mentioned the Jetsons. I used to watch, and the Flintstones. We had that. But our TVs did not stay on 24 hours a day. They used to cut off at 11 o'clock or midnight. 3 channels, and we had an outdoor antenna. We had an outdoor antenna that we had to turn around to make the TV clear. We had a lot of good music too, though, because when I came along, it was when Diana Ross was there. The Beatles was everywhere. American Bandstand. I grew up with American Bandstand. And then what's the black TV show when that came on? Because I was a little bit older when that came on. Yeah, Jackson and Flintstones. Superman was mine too. The Addams Family. Oh, the Cartwrights. Ponderosa on Sunday night. Disney used to have something on Sunday nights. Yeah. And then, the water fountains. I don't know nothing about that. I hear about it. I know it was there, but I don't. By the time I guess I got old enough, it wasn't there. So I don't know about that either. I know they talked about that a little bit. And then I just want to say again that people say, is there a difference? There is not. My car flies. It's called Put Your Foot Down. Yeah, that's about it. But my mom, we were fortunate though. My mom had a car. She owned her home. We never went hungry. We never, I remember one time we did, because me and my sister decided, since these neighbors wasn't eating that well, we gave away our food out the refrigerator. My mama about starved us to death that next week. She about starved us, but she worked hard. Women, then they worked hard, and that was all women. It was white, black, green, or purple. So, see, I was brought up with the black and white minstrel show. Yeah, and that's what I say. Our perception is all different. If you're black, it's one perception. If you're white, whatever color, or whatever person, we see it differently. So I just know that this is a piece of history I want to leave for my grandchildren because I don't have that much from my mom. And a lot of times, I don't know if some of you know, if you got somebody older than me, they will not answer questions a lot of times. And my mom would not answer questions a lot because they had to lie. And they took them lies to their graves. So maybe that's why she didn't. I used to ask about her grandparents. She wouldn't answer that. And I really didn't know their names until I got older and I researched them. So that's how I learned about my grandparents. But you're gonna see um my great grandma. And I was thinking my great grandma was thin. My great grandma was a big bone woman. And also my family was how did you feel first time you saw a black person on TV? Oh, that would have been Diana Carroll. Mm. Okay, I would have seen the Supremes first before Diana Carroll. So we did see people sing African American, well, Negroes on TV. We did see that. I remember one time Nick Jagger, he refused to go up after James Brown. I don't know what that was about, but yeah. And then Diana Carroll came. She was surface sweet. I remember that, but I don't know, because I try to think of it from a child's mind, but it wasn't like, ooh, she looked like me. It wasn't that. I and maybe because I seen, the singers and everything um on TV, and I always thought they were rich, the Negro singers, but a lot of times, they weren't getting paid pennies on the dollar, or they gave them cars and stuff. So but that's great, Jacinta, because asking how you feel, you know, and like I said, the first fast food I ate was Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then eventually hamburgers and all that stuff. But we weren't heavy either. You didn't see that many heavy people. That's because we wasn't eating junk food. But I'm gonna say that us baby boomers, white, black, blue, green, we did our children a great disservice. We really did. I know a lot of kids still go. I know KFC used to be the bomb. KFC is not. I don't want their chicken. I don't want KFC at all. But and then I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, but yeah, like I said before, women, yeah, we had real home cooked meals, and those women, they worked hard. They went to work. My mom had to work two jobs, jobs if she could, and then, oh, I know what happened too. My mom worked so hard and round the clock. TV dinners start coming out. Girl, I ate so many TV dinners. I forgot about those. Mm. And they had that heavy foil on them. I ate, like I say, I ate so much. Oh, I remember what I was going to say about the baby boomers. I don't care what color you are. We did our kids a great disservice. We what I want to say, we became more materialistic. We became more materialistic. We really did. I don't know where it started. My mom still wasn't. But by the time it got down to me, and I don't know where it comes from, Zalika say party line. Yes, the TV went smooth off at 12. Oh, I forgot about Big Valley and Gunsmoke. Girl, them was our shows. Hey, Heather. And Heather stay in Australia, so I don't even know the history of and I still should read it because I know, some people over there went through it too, you know, with being just different no matter where you are. But I'm gonna get back to baby boomers. We did y'all a great disservice. um we got really materialistic, and I guess I should say me. We got really materialistic. Our parents didn't have credit card debt. I got into credit card debt. They own their homes. They herb and paid those off. People now, what do they do? Second and third mortgages. So you're paying for your house forever. And then you can't retire. That's why so many people don't retire, or they need the medical. So they can't retire before 65 before they can do it. But we did them a great disservice. And I know my son says, Heather, that it's better over in Australia for him. But then when I hear it on the news or something, and I told him, are you sure? I'm gonna say it's our food. Honestly, it makes us tired. It does. It does. But you know what they say about healthy food is expensive? What if you just get frozen vegetables and rice? That's cheap. I think well, I don't know if you got a big family. Yeah. And see, Martin said he can't retire, and that's what it runs at 67. And who's to say you're going to have your health at 67? And that's what quality of life are you going? But I tell you what, Martin, when you turn 67, you run out them doors. Because you'll think you won't have enough money, but you're not doing a lot. You're not driving a lot. You don't have to buy clothes for work, So, and I've been retired, what, 10 years? 10 years. So, and like I say, I got to retire early at 57. And that was because of my husband. He was smart. And he just told me the amount of money that he was going to give me. And he said, if I can make it off of that, then I could retire. And I made it off of that. And then he was surprised I even saved some. Hey, Callie Daly. Oh, but yeah, and I'm almost, because I'm gonna stay at an hour, and that's what I normally do. And I know the next one is about 20 minutes long, I think. So now I know that we'll still be in the context of making it an hour and not make it too long. Do anybody else have any questions? Because I mean, I'll answer anything. Did I ever see the Klan? No. Never saw them burn a cross or anything. And I'm telling you, when I came along, because when I really started noticing, I mean, what, 65, 60, I would have been like 5, 70, I would have been 10, something like that. No, I was born 55. So 65, I would have been 10. Yeah, 75, yeah, 20. So yeah, 75, I would have been 20. So, but it was a whole different world. It really was. And then you got to remember, now we're more modern. You know, Wash machine outside. I don't know if anybody remember that, the roll thing, and a lot of kids got their hands caught in that roller thing, and we had to wash those clothes out in the cold and wring them out in that big old tub. And kids did not, when them parents say do, we did. Okay. And people think we got beat we didn't get beat all the time. Now that's one thing I want to say. Banana pudding. Yeah, that's what every home made, banana pudding with those vanilla wafer crackers. Every Negro home I know had banana pudding, or they had pound cake. Yep, scrub board. I've done that. Scrub on the scrub board. And that's why I say when parents told us something, you know, we just did it. We didn't, we didn't even think of talking back. Even if you look funny, I remember my mom said, "Who you rolling your eyes at?" And then I put my head down. Because you know what was coming. Yeah, but unless you had somebody that was abusive, and my mom wasn't, but like I say, growing up, I was fortunate. I know my cousin, they had it hard, coming up. Some kids did have it hard now coming up. They had that free food, government food. It was a big old, thank God we never had to get it. It was a big old block of cheese. I know it was peanut butter in there. And was it white rice? It was rice in there. And I don't know how long it was. Anybody remember those boxes? Because it had some beans. Was it pinto beans? I remember dried beans being in there. And some kind of that meat in the can is what we didn't have to do that, but a lot of people shared. My auntie liked the cheese and stuff. I think powdered milk too was in there. When people say they were poor, they were poor. But I'm going to tell you what I learned. I could take nothing and make something. I could take a whole chicken and stretch it for over a week. If not a spanking, why did it work? Are my kids too entitled? No. I'm going to tell you why it don't work. Crafty Leo was talking in another chat earlier because you are not, let me quit pointing the finger, because most people are not consistent. They beat you down. Kids beat you down until you say yes. So once you say yes, it's no turning back. You've given up all your power. And you know where that starts? When they're really little. Really little. Even like going to church, people, we didn't have no nursery. Even when my kids came along, what nursery? My kids knew when they dressed up. I think that's another thing too. Kids can go to church however where they want. My sons had little suits with the little bow ties, and they knew where we were going. Even when babies, they knew when you were sitting there. Babies cry like they normally cry, but I'm just saying, kids acting up, you know what was going to happen when you went outside. So you might as well just stay. And kids are also do feel entitled, and I still blame it on my generation. They feel, even now, kids now, if you gave them $5, you think they want that $5? Unless their parents have trained them the right way. They don't even say thank you. That's happened to me recently. I don't know anybody that know about it in the chat, but that's happened to me. I've sent stuff to people and they don't even say thank you. So, and Jamie are talking about that food. I remember cheese, powdered milk, and peanut butter. And kids used to take care of their parents. I know everybody work, and I do. And that's why I say times have changed. Kids, you can ask, are you going to take care of me? You might be surprised at the answer. Yeah, the best cheese. And I think the food tastes so good too, because when you're young, your taste buds are really, really vibrant. And Crafty Leo, I was telling, and you know what? I thank everybody's like for stopping by. But Crafty Leo, I told Jamie about how I like my hamburger on raisin bread. Because you got the sweetness and then you got the hamburger. We was brought up to have manners, but yeah. And the only reason my mom, I don't know why, she didn't want us to say yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. I can't remember why. She didn't want us to say, yes, Crafty Leo, your baby, I love it. We just would say yes and no. My baby son started saying it after he left the house. I don't know. He was around his girlfriend's house and then he started saying it. So Most kids were though. We just, for some reason, my mom didn't didn't want us to say it. We never had baked. We didn't have any baked beans. My mom pork and beans is what they called it then, because she said she had it too much. She so I didn't get pork and beans until I got grown. My sister them got them though. My sister is like 11 years, 13 years younger. My brother's 11 years younger. But I'm telling you, Jacinta, and we talked about, oh, just Jacinta, stop. We talked about, even with eating food, how kids didn't like it. We didn't even know we had an option. What option we had? I have to laugh about that. What option did we have? Okay, I didn't like chicken perlo rice. Do y'all know what that is? Chicken perlo rice is chicken liver, chicken neck, all the pieces of the chicken. I come home and I used to hate it. I come home and I ask my mom, you think I fussed about it? I sat around there and picked and ate it. I picked around, and ate it. And we always had fish and grits. We never had shrimp and grits. I think that come from New Orleans. We never had shrimp and grits. We never had farina. We had oatmeal. I know that's what I'm saying, but I bet y'all like it now. But as a child, I didn't like it, but I ate it because I knew I was going. And that's what I say. I know you should talk to your kids. That's one thing, but I was so busy raising my children. I didn't have time. And that's why a lot of times we fell off the map, and we didn't have the support because we moved away from the support. I didn't have anybody close around me to really help, with the kids. My mom was about 4 hours away and she did the best she could. So, and I just made my life harder because I didn't listen to my mama. There are a lot of things I didn't like as a kid. Yeah, that you like now. And I think Crafty Leo, she's going to be a firm parent. I was listening to her today. But I'm telling you, once you break and say yes, all bets off. Then they know they can break you down. They know they can bring. I'm a baby boomer. I remember all of that. Yeah. Yeah. But we did. We went off somewhere and we got lost in the woods. And our children, this generation now that's coming up, I don't know. It's even when we went to other people's houses, we didn't run around people's houses. People could cheer and come to your house now. It's like they everywhere. Are they in your refrigerator? Where that came from? And my children knew if I took them somewhere not to ask them people for food, you don't know how much food they got. They would ask them and they would say, they ask them, are you hungry? To be, oh no, we just ate. I'm back. Hey, okay, Samira. But yeah, I'm going to do this. It's over an hour now, but I'm going to do the second part next week. And if you got any questions, you can find me on Instagram or what. But I'm telling you, it's going to go more into detail in the other ones. There are a lot of things I didn't like as a kid that I like now. Yeah, Heather, I'm telling you, that food tastes good now. Even avocados. Did Steve, I know you about did y'all have black beans? We never had black beans. I didn't have black beans till I was grown. I didn't have black beans until I was grown and married. And then I had black beans. It was just so much stuff that we didn't. We had pig ears, we had pigtails, we had stuff people don't eat now. I ain't eating no pig ears and pigtails. I ain't eating that. And then it had and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like it. It's because it has little hairs on it. Oh, so I used to get the pigtail. I know it sounds, but listen, when you hungry, you gonna eat. Kids didn't get allowances either. My kids did. Kids, I never got no allowance. What allowance? And then I worked at, I probably was about 16. I got a job and I started messing up on my homework. So my mom made me stop. So I couldn't work no more until I graduated. And that's what I'm saying. Parents was really in tune to, you know what? I knew about chitlins, but we never had them. Hog maws we never had. I don't know why. Maybe my mama had too much of it. Hey, Erie Frog. Maybe she had too much of it. That's what I'm thinking, that. Because she never did it. I know later on for the other kids, she did, but she didn't do it that much. I love sauce now. I like liverwurst. I like that. I sure do. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get ready to go because I'm going to see you next Tuesday and we're going to do part 2. And I'm so glad. And I hope Patrick is listening. Patrick, that was just a little bit. No to the chitlins and hog maws. What? You don't like chitlins? You stay up there in Georgia and you were staying out there in the woods in Gainesville and you ain't like no chitlins? Oh, I like fruitcake because of my Aunt Dot. She could bake so good. The only fruitcake I would eat was Enterman's, and they don't make it no more. But those women could bake and they could cook. Yes, they could. And I cannot cook. But I'm telling you, got little ones, and Jacinta knows, she's heard me say this all the time. They need to learn now. Wash them dishes, clean that house. My sons know how to do it all. They know how, and really my sons are the one that cook. My oldest son, he used to cook all the time. He don't cook as much as he used to because he's so busy working with them 7 children. But he did. They're the cooks of the family. I know my baby son is. So they learned a lot, they learned a lot about, how to treat a woman and always take care of your kids. You don't take care of them kids. I'm gonna give the people your address. And I can't say they do well, money wise, I would say in doing it, but I have an older grandson. He's gonna be 19 this year. So, and I didn't start getting grandchildren till, thank God, late. Thank goodness, late. Okay, but I am gonna let everybody go. And Geeky Girl might come back on live, but I think that I'm kind of done with the internet today. Anybody going live tonight? You think? Anybody before I signed off of here? Crafty Leo, you done been around today, girl. But I can say it is nice being retired. Even, you know what? I woke up this morning. I said, even though, YouTube is getting there, I said, girl, do you want to use your retirement on YouTube? Okay, Jacinta, thank you. And please come back next week because it gets better. I can promise you that. That was just soft pedaling. Yeah. Okay, everybody, take care and thank you so much. And I will chit chat with y'all later. Oh, Jamie, you'll be somewhere else.